You're listening to the International Moving Podcast, your guide to moving to another country, brought to you by SDC International Shipping, LA's finest. An international move is exciting. It's a time to start over, establish a new business maybe, reestablish family ties, or retire where your budget will do more for you. Please enjoy today's episode, and if you have any questions about your international move, give us a call at 888-779-3962. That's 888-779-3962. All right, welcome back, everyone. Happy New Year to all of you. Here we are in 2024. This is Jim for SDC International Shipping. Great to be back together with you again today. You're listening to the International Moving Podcast, and this is where we discuss moving and relocating overseas, moving from the United States to other countries. We compare other countries with the United States using different factors like cost of living, career opportunities for expats to extend their savings even further as they enter into their retirement years. Today we're going to talk about people who are leaving sunny San Diego, California in favor of moving overseas. If you've never been to San Diego before, I haven't, but I know plenty of people who have. They all say the same thing. San Diego has beautiful beaches, amazing weather, a pretty robust job market, and great quality of life. But even this little Californian, I shouldn't call it little because it's not, but even this paradise located in California is now seeing residents packing their bags in favor of moving abroad. Recent location trends show that more San Diegans are leaving their laid-back Southern California lifestyle in favor of new adventures, new opportunities overseas. Now, according to the latest data that I could get my hands on, 2020, which is now considered to be 4 years ago. That's amazing, isn't it? Does it really feel like 2020 was 4 years ago? But according to the census data from 2020, over 5,000 San Diego residents moved to other countries just in that year. That was a pretty rough year to move, so the chances are that that number is going to go up when you see the data of 2021, 2022, and so on. Popular destinations include places like Mexico, Canada, the UK, Australia, Germany, Japan, and believe it or not, even China. China is an interesting story. I'm not going to talk about it today, but my friend married a woman from China, and they're very happy. They've been married for 3 years now, but he's had the opportunity to actually go back and visit her family there. We'll have to make an episode on China one of these days. It's not the kind of place he'd want to retire to, but it's interesting when you compare what the lifestyle is like there compared to over here in the West, especially for retired people. But so the question is, why would anyone want to leave San Diego unless they absolutely positively had to and move to a place that is maybe halfway across the world when San Diego offers so much? Certain life factors like career opportunities come up, lower cost of living, of course, in these other locations, retirement goals, and family ties. Those are always the top things. Lower cost of living, though, is way up there on the top, right along with career opportunities. And in lower cost of living, we find every type of range of age, from younger people, middle age, to, of course, people who are preparing to retire or recently retired. But the thought of picking up and moving internationally is overwhelming to a lot of people. But for people who are in San Diego and they've caught the expat bug, I guess we could call it that, the thought of living in a foreign country can provide them with things like unique life experiences. At times, those who are younger, accelerated career growth that they're not getting here, and even special time and special experiences with their family that they wouldn't otherwise get. No matter where you're coming from, if you've been there for a while, it kind of seems ordinary, no longer has the same maybe excitement as it did in years past. And maybe you just decided that you've had enough of wherever it is that you are, and you really don't need to, maybe you need to explain it to family and friends, but as long as it's something that is a good fit for you, it's hard to say that you're not making the right decision, or even that you are. It really is an individual type of choice. But it is interesting that more and more people are making this kind of choice and relocating. So I had a friend of mine who spent time in San Diego. I've talked to people who've lived and worked there. They all love it. They all admit that it is expensive, though. And many of them are no longer there simply because of that reason. Not that they couldn't afford to live there, but they just said that logically it made sense to relocate to a place that maybe they consider to be just as nice, a place that will give them different types of life experiences, and their money goes further. So some of the reasons we already mentioned, like career opportunities. Yes, San Diego has a thriving job market, especially in sectors like, most people don't realize this, but military, number one, tourism, biotech. However, some San Diego residents, working career people, seek positions overseas when transferred by employers or recruited by global international companies. Countries like Singapore, China, Japan, and Germany present strong job prospects in fields like tech, engineering, and academics. So if you're working for a larger company, then you fit into that kind of profile. Next, we have the lower cost of living, of course. The cost of living in San Diego keeps rising every single year, making other regions more appealing, especially if you're on a fixed income. Locations like Mexico, Southeast Asia, countries like Thailand, even Vietnam are becoming increasingly popular because they offer a substantially lower cost of living. Housing, healthcare, and other expenses can be up to 50% cheaper or even more depending on the location that you're going to. And if you're a little bit older, maybe you think of these countries like Thailand and Vietnam like they were quote unquote back in the day, but all of these areas now have become increasingly modernized. Some of them have types of technology in the public sectors or areas that we don't even see here in the United States. Japan is another good example of that. Okay, then we can talk about adventure and new experiences. You know, after years of enjoying maybe San Diego's laid back lifestyle, the excitement of experiencing a new culture really does become appealing to some. Now, there are short term overseas programs and work visas that make it possible to settle in a city like a London or a Barcelona or Sydney possible, even if it's just for a limited period of time. And some people find that appealing. If someone came up to you, let's say related to work, and offered you all expense paid type of situation where you could live in London, maybe for 6 months, or Sydney, would you take it? You know, sometimes, you just think on based on money, but you don't realize that a lot of the people, and I guess it depends how old you are going to these other countries for career opportunities. But yeah, we have to definitely put that adventure factor in there as well as new experiences because regardless of age, that does have an appeal to some people. Next, of course, we could talk about retirement abroad. This is a topic that comes up so much now because whether we're talking about San Diego was once a very popular retirement destination. And some people, of course, are retired living in San Diego. They're doing fine, but there's no getting around the fact that it does come at a very high cost. And for seniors on a fixed income, moving to a low cost foreign locale can be an appealing option. Retiring overseas allows retirees Social Security, 401ks, and their savings to go sometimes dramatically further. And inexpensive locales like Central America, Southeast Asia, they all provide the opportunity to enjoy even a lavish kind of lifestyle for a fraction of what it costs to retire in San Diego. Popular retirement destinations for people leaving San Diego currently happen to be places like Panama. Panama was very popular about 5 to 6 years ago, and then it became less so, and now it appears to be picking up again as of mid 2023 as we go into 2024. Panama, Costa Rica, Mexico, Portugal, and Thailand. Now, Panama offers a generous, it's called the Pensionado program, which discounts everything from healthcare to entertainment. Costa Rica has beautiful landscapes, a very nice climate, and a low cost of living, drawing people actually from all over California. Mexico's proximity to San Diego makes beach towns like Mazatlan entertaining. Portugal has that old world charm, the Mediterranean climate, and the discounted residency. And all of those things are attracting more foreign retirees. And Thailand has a very vibrant culture, cuisine, cheap cost of living, and an appeal to maybe the more adventurous type of retirees. But for people in San Diego who are nearing retirement age, it's worthwhile to research overseas destinations that align with your budget and your lifestyle vision. So, one of the things that you can do is you consult with the different expat resource individuals and people and organizations that are out there. There are plenty of expat groups online. You can find them in places like Facebook, and you'll get additional insights into what it's like to retire in some of these areas from people who are actually there, people who've actually done it, and people maybe like you that are in the process of thinking about it. So, with proper planning, retiring overseas can be a very rewarding chapter in your life. Next, we have financial ties, family ties. San Diego, if you're living in San Diego and you have family overseas, sometimes people decide to relocate there to be closer to relatives, that allows their children to maybe connect with their heritage, or sometimes people marry a foreign spouse and they may move to their new partner's home country. We can talk about things like education opportunities. Some relocate temporarily to attend a specific university or take advantage of postgraduate work visas that are offered in certain countries. Affordable tuition and a chance to begin a career abroad are compelling options for some graduates seeking education overseas. Now, we can look at some of the popular retirement destinations, retirement havens, you might call them, for people in San Diego. I already mentioned Panama. Panama is at the top of the list, I believe, right now because of the Pensionado program. And they have discounts of 25% or more on everything from airline tickets to doctor visits. The Panama has very lush landscapes, all the modern amenities of Panama City. Again, if you're remembering the Panama of the past or the Panama of different periods of history, things have changed there. Sometimes it's hard to believe that we're in 2024 already. And yeah, things definitely changed. Not all for the worse. Costa Rica, of course, we've talked about Costa Rica before. They have an unofficial motto called Pura Vida, and it stands for pure life, or it means pure life. And it kind of sums up what attracts retirees here in the US to that country. I have several friends that are considering moving there. One has had property there in the family for years. It's sort of similar to Florida in a way. I haven't been there, but from the way they explain it, their healthcare system is excellent and it costs a fraction of what it does here in the US. And retirees can also enjoy discounts on things like airfare, utilities, entertainment. Mexico, of course, one of the very first episodes here, I interviewed somebody who is an American expat residing in Mexico, and she and her family retain their American citizenship. They live in Mexico throughout the year, but they come back to California to visit family during the summertime. Portugal, SDC works with people moving to Portugal all the time. Hugely popular destination. If you've ever seen the photographs of Portugal or heard a little bit about what it's like to live there, you know why. It has that old world European charm still, Mediterranean climate. It has the kind of laid back lifestyle that's appealing to many people over here in the United States. Housing's very affordable, especially if you're away from Lisbon, and they have a great healthcare system there. One of my online friends and connections recently moved to Portugal from California. I forget what part of California he came from, but he really seems to be enjoying it there, especially dining out and the fine foods and wines. He said everything is first rate. And finally, today we can look at the country of Thailand. From the bustling city of Bangkok to the island paradises, Thailand caters to retirees that are looking for more of an exotic type of backdrop in their retirement years. It offers many things such as gourmet cuisine. They have very attentive locals there. Many tourists go to Thailand throughout the year, and the bargain cost of living there allows people's income to go much further, especially if you're on a fixed income. The beach towns there are known for being relaxed, very slow paced. However, they do have a very modern healthcare system there. And for some people, that's the ideal combination. So if you're in San Diego, ready to retire, Thailand is definitely on the table for more people today than it's ever been before. I know that if you're used to certain locations, for example, if you like more of a subtropic type of setting, you've lived here in the United States, maybe you're in a state like Florida, Southern California, good examples of that, and you're moving overseas and you want to go to a place that's comparable to the place that you left as far as climate goes, then that's when we start looking at some of these places like Central America and Thailand and so on and so forth, Costa Rica. And then sometimes people want the exact opposite. They're tired of whatever type of weather they've been living with for the past X number of years, and they're looking for the exact opposite. Usually, if you're in a warm weather type of place and you're going on vacation, usually, I should say, people are looking for something that's going to be a little bit different. So, and that holds over too when we're talking about retiring and relocating overseas with some people. Other people want to keep it more or less the same. So just know that wherever you are, we're here at SDC International Shipping. We do this each and every day. We have experts in everything from the packing, the planning, people to help you making sure that all of the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted and everything is in order. So that way you can make your move as smooth as an experience as humanly possible. And you can reach us through our website. We have a lot of information we publish there regularly on international moving. We compare different countries to the United States. We look at things like cost of living. We have this podcast. We have a toll-free number, or you can even chat with someone online. And how the process works is once you're connected with someone, and we can give you an estimate on what it costs for your move. But once you've committed, then you're paired with an expert in the area that you're going to. So you're always going to be in great hands throughout the process. And SDC International Shipping really does pride itself on customer service. That is where we really stand out. The company is big enough to provide any kind of service that you need, from the smallest to the largest to the custom type of situations, because every move is unique. For example, you may be worrying about moving something overseas that's very delicate, very expensive. We have expert packers that do nothing but that. They understand how to do that. We've moved museums and very delicate pieces throughout the world. So you're in good hands. But we're small enough where even the owner of the company gets on the phone and follows up and makes sure that things are right. The people who are working with you as you go through this experience are going to be the kind of people that you would hope you would get when you're making this kind of investment in your life. You will not be disappointed with SDC International Shipping. So thanks for listening. Again, Happy New Year to all of you. That will do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please share the link with a friend, email it to them, share it on Facebook, or wherever you happen to be. Thanks again for listening. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next episode.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thanks for listening. Whether you're relocating within the country or moving to the other side of the world, we're here to help from start to finish. Connect with us today at 888-779-3962. That's 888-779-3962.